What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, B. Zanny, joined by my co-host, D. Woody. And today we got a great episode for you guys. Going to be covering the past week of CDL matches and how that's going to affect the overall picture. And we're also going to take a dive into the RLCS NA Open that just took place and what that means for the rest of the year. So make sure to stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode. Let's get into it. All right, Dak, episode 51. We've just been grinding a lot of Marvel Rivals here this past week, watching some COD. We got back into Elden Ring, but before we dive into what we've been doing, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Just getting through the week. It's been cold as hell here, so
yeah,
it's just been like 20 degrees every day in the middle of the day. So I haven't been outside much. So yeah, as you've been saying, lots of Elden Ring and Marvel Rivals being played at the moment.
Yeah, it's like 20, 25 in the mornings, and then like today it was like mid 40s, high 40s in the middle of the day. So going to work and whatnot is tough, but it's getting a little bit warmer throughout the day. But I think we're supposed to have like another like freeze front come through here within the next week or so. So we'll see about that. But yeah, we're going to talk about some COD. We're going to talk about some Rocket League, but just want to talk about Marvel Rivals real quick because we've touched on the fact that, we've been playing it in the last couple episodes, but now it's been a good month of us like playing it hard, and we thoroughly enjoy it. We're playing ranked on a consistent basis, and ranked's been really fun for me and Dak because it's probably the first game where we truly don't care about our rank. We don't have a history of performing in these types of games or anything like that, so we don't have an expectation for ourselves. So rank's been really fun. So yeah, definitely looking forward to them releasing some more content for us. We learned today that they've put in fake characters in their data files to find leakers who are leaking their shit.
I found out
that's not true?
The lines are blurred so much now that we don't know if it's fake or real now.
Oh my god.
Everyone's like, I don't know, because I guess that post got deleted in Discord. It was like some person posted that the devs were fake leaking info to see if they could catch people leaking internally from their company and stuff. So
interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's true, that's hilarious.
That's not. People can data mine though. That's not how leaks those. Like if they wanted to.
So that's why people were like, they literally have these skins like in the data or in the code of the game and stuff. Like that seems like too much trouble to go through to be fake.
And that wouldn't expose someone internally.
I don't know.
Right? Like saying, hey, this character's that wouldn't expose someone internally unless they like found an email thread or like a Discord username matching the IP of someone that works for them or something like that. Like then that would make sense. But someone breaking into your files or whatever they call it, that's normal. Like that happens in Fortnite. Fortnite purposefully does it so leakers do it to promote it.
Yeah.
So we don't know, but
I don't know. Maybe they don't want
the way they've been updating the game and releasing stuff. I mean, I think it's real, but because there's so much they don't have to come up with stuff. They have it. They just have to implement it and work it into the game. So, but yeah, we've been having a lot of fun on Marvel Rivals, and then we also decided to get back into some Elden Ring. We're on a co-op level 1 run right now. We're at Morgott, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. No, Hollow Godfrey? No, we killed Hollow God. Yeah, we're at Morgott.
Yeah, Morgott.
Yeah, we're at Morgott, so we got to do that. And then, I'm not looking forward to Malekith whatsoever. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into that for sure.
Yeah, same here. Elden Ring's been so fun. Like, obviously I'm still doing my solo level 1 run for the channel. You guys will see that soon. And I'm on Renala in that one. And we beat the shit out of Renala in our co-op one. So I'm ready.
Yeah. And she's easy as fuck.
But yeah, I just played through the game again, just normally fresh playthrough. Still hard. Game's still hard. I did a lot. I mean, it took me 17 hours to beat it this time instead of 100, but I didn't do most of the side stuff. But I did get stuck on Elden Beast for a few tries for sure.
Yeah.
So, fun game.
But yeah.
Expect more.
Let's go ahead and get into the COD talk, man. We had another week of matches. This is our second to last week before Major 2, right? Yeah. So we got this last weekend coming up before the Major, which I think tickets go on sale this weekend. So I don't know if you're still... sorry, for Major 2, tickets go on sale this weekend if you want to cop,
Really?
if you're still wanting to come down. Yeah, it's Optic Major 2.
Yeah, when is that?
I assume the end of March.
Okay.
Something like that. We'll find out this weekend, but that's just me guessing.
Okay.
So yeah, do you have everything pulled up?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
So first match of the weekend, Gentlemates going up against Cloud9 New York. This ended up going the way of Gorillas 3-0. Definitely majority of people picking Cloud9 before this match as Gentlemates were winless going into it. Still yet to put a dub on the board in the CDL outside of, the minor, which I don't believe they did either. So they finally get their first dub on the board, and it came with Priesta and Lens doing their thing, which unfortunately for them, I think has to be their recipe for success. Mm-hmm. I think those two players have to be finding success, and the problem with that is Lens is definitely up and down, and this was kind of a unicorn series for Priesta, at least in recency. Like, he hasn't been performing great, so seeing a performance like this from Priesta's got you feeling good. Our point map 1, 250 to 190, 6-4 in the S&D, and then Gentlemates actually reverse sweep in the control to take the series 3-0. So that was kind of crazy. Lens started out like, I don't know,
18.
4 and 18 or and then ended up like 30 and 30. I don't remember. He ended up 32 and 33. So crazy turnaround, huge streak. And ended up securing it. Priesta with 13 captures, by the way. He got 13 ticks. That's awesome to see. Yeah, that's some dirty work. So, good series from them. On the other side of things, Attach had a good series with a 1.17, but it just wasn't enough. They were just kind of getting outslayed at the wrong times and, losing rotations on map 1, and then they just collapsed in that map 3 control. So
yeah, I've seen people accusing Attach of stat padding.
Real, I mean, you're losing 3-0. Like, what? I mean, he was
Cloud9
even.
Cloud9 was up 2-0 in the control too. Like, they almost.
That's what. Yeah.
They should have won, and LAG's come back thanks to Lens going like 11-4 round 3 to turn that around. So,
I mean, I guess the only argument for him stat padding is him having 20 seconds of time in the first map, but he's also their like main AR role and their veteran presence who's heavy in the heavy in the scheme of things, and so I don't really think 20 seconds is that big of a deal, especially when Mac and Crimp, the subs, have a good chunk of time. And then if you look at the other ones, he's got 4 first bloods, and then he's got four captures, which is not nothing crazy, but it's not nothing. So I think he just had a better series
in the Zoo Mafia.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, Cloud9, not the best showing from them to kick us off that weekend. Getting into anything else you want to say on that one?
Nah, good win from LAG.
Heck yeah. Getting into the next series, we had green on green. We had Optic Texas going up against Vegas Falcons. I feel like they've already played each other so many times.
Yeah, we had a lot of rematches from the minor this weekend.
Yeah, but I feel like this is their third time playing them when really it's only their second. But Vault Optic was able to take that 179 to 250. That was a very weird map because Falcons were not necessarily they were just playing from behind the whole entire map. So it got really close at one point at the end of the second rotation, beginning of the third, but Optic pretty much handled business on Vault with Hook going absolutely nuke at
Hook's
39 and 18. He went
been
fucking
frying.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then the map 2, Search is Falcon's saving grace right now. They look really, really good in Search. Their mid-round adjustments are really good, and they're just really good at committing to their strategy. Doom ended up going 11-6, and they win 6-4. They had a chance to go 5-5, but they just clutched up on the side of Falcons.
Yeah.
And then in the Hacienda, I think Falcons also trolled this one. They go up 2-0, they win, or 2-1, they win back-to-back rounds, they steal that offense, and then Optic does the same thing right back to them and wins 3-2. And we get into the map 4. This one was really, really tight up until the second rotation. It was like 111 to 100, and then Optic just started slaying and pulled away. Hook and Shotzi going crazy. Shotzi went 33 and 18 on that one. Just a collective dominant performance from Optic in this one.
Yeah, for sure. And just to touch on Falcon's Search, I mean, I think they won 2 S&Ds this weekend.
They won. Yeah.
So that's big for them, but I've seen a lot of pros saying that they just play unique and play pretty good as a team. So like, they're hard to play against in S&D. So if they can just, I think it's going to take another split, maybe split 3. They'll start winning more respawns. But yeah, if they can get the respawns figured out, they're definitely going to be in the mix. I mean,
yeah, if they can get kicks back as well.
They got some shooters, bro, for sure. XNID was frying in the Vancouver series later.
If they can get kicks back for Roxas or some, one of the others, that would definitely be, an advantage in their respawn game. But also in Search, they just look very confident in that game mode, and whenever they find a lane or they find a timing, they pursue it heavily and they communicate it. And whenever they have they hear a confident comm, they're like the other teammates play around that very strongly. So although they're still looking for their first win in the CDL, they do look good in Search, so they can take that.
Yeah.
The next match was really, really fun to watch. We had Minnesota Rocker going up against Toronto Ultra. This one was literally back and forth from map 1. So Ultra end up taking this one 3-2. They are undefeated in the stage so far. 250 to 185 in the protocol hard point. This was just a back and forth game, but in the beginning, Toronto was able to pull ahead, and they just kept that cushion the whole way through.
This was a
good map out of Geo.
The reset.
Yes.
Teams.
Yeah, and didn't do Nero too well on this one. He had a tough map, but Jodeci's was everywhere as well as Beans. They were just doing their thing.
Nero's got to be the fry guy. If he's not frying, they're not winning.
Yeah, I agree. And Paul X continues to struggle as well. He just hasn't been good this stage. The first couple matches, he looked really good in S&D, and then he's been very, very inconsistent and pretty poor the remainder of the stage. But they end up taking the map 2 despite that, 6-2, with only one person, 6-2, pretty dominant. Estriel 12-4, being able to carry the team. Rest of the team pretty much even. And then the protocol went all the way to round 5. Typical
it was crazy.
Typical control in terms of back and forth rounds. But Ultra was able to steal it at the end there.
Ultra's first 2 offenses were so dog shit. Like, they didn't even get a tick, one of them. And then round 5, they had offense and just shit on them. It was insane. Yeah. They just turned it around.
Sometimes the break off is so important on control. If you're able to land a nade on a certain person, you're able to clear out potentially a whole point off the rip. So winning that break off is crucial. Vault hard point the map 4. The Rocker were able to take this one in a grueler. With Paul going 13-23, they were able to scrape this out. It was a literal 2v4 for most of the game with Estriel and Geo. But Nero was able to pick it up, and they take that one by the skin of their teeth.
Look at Paul.
And then,
sorry
that's what I'm saying.
Least kills, least deaths Most time, W.
W. That's true. As long as he knows he's getting shit on and what he should do, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then we get to the Map 5 protocol search, which Rocker have looked great in search, and so have Ultra, but Ultra just brought it to him here. 6-0. CleanX 10-1, Joe, or 10-3. Joe Deceives 8-1. This was just not even close, man. And Toronto moved to undefeated.
Bro, 190 damage is tough.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. He was in the blend. I mean, look at Insight. Insight had 195,
Yeah,
but he also
6-0'd. Killing everyone.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, tough way to end the series for Rocker, but I mean, they still show a lot of promise. I mean, their record isn't the best, but they still look good in game. And then some maps just, Paul's getting shit on. If they don't do good at this major, I definitely drop Paul. I think it's no question, and pick up someone else. But
yeah,
who knows? I'd get Illy, but I think Illy would slot in perfectly.
Yeah, he'd be so good for them.
But yeah, Toronto Ultra remain undefeated. Next match, getting into Saturday, we have the Vancouver Surge against the Vegas Falcons. I'm going to kind of let you look at these next three matches because I didn't really watch any of these because I was watching football getting fucked up. So, but Vancouver take this one 3-1 again. Falcons are able to take the Search and Destroy, but looks like this was just an Abusa series taken over. Wassell and Exnid had a good series, but not enough to take it out.
Yeah, so good S&D again. The Falcons got 2 S&D wins this weekend, so they're obviously doing something right. But in Hardpoint, they're always just playing from like 30 points behind, and they cannot hold a hill to save their lives. They get broken immediately every time. But they got some shooters, so they break hills. So they're always like somewhat close. Scrapping. But yeah, once they get set up, they usually get broken, and that was kind of the story of these maps. So yeah, again, Falcons are just behind the curve. They'll figure it out. They seem to be getting better quicker, especially with this roster. Hopefully Kicks can come back and they can actually compete. Yeah,
I agree. The next match was Cloud9 versus Miami. This one went all the way to map 5, and Miami was able to take it 6-4 to take the series. And
this is why I hold on to my Vamos Bucks, baby, because they won both the S&Ds to take this one.
Yep, and that's why you see those negative KDs on the side of Miami, because they lost those respawns and they got 3-0'd in control. So that certainly doesn't help. But a good series from Metals, regardless of getting smoked in the respawns. He ends up positive, which is good to see. But overall, they just S&D wins championships. Yeah. So they're strong in that department.
I will say though, this may have been a little bit of like a lucky we just came out frying type of day for them, because a lot of their wins in the red card S&D at least were like 2v3s, 2v4s where they were down men and just like had some crazy clutches. Yeah, so especially last map they almost threw because it was 5-4 and Mac almost 1v3'd. It ended up Mac got bombed down. It was a 1v1 versus Metals, and Metals just got a good timing. He kind of read it.
Nice.
So Metals had a hell of a map 5, but yeah, I need to see Miami win some more searches against other teams, because this could have just been a fluky day.
True,
but they do look better. I mean, they definitely came out better. I'm sure they're working on it and getting better, but like I need to see it for more teams to say Miami's a top 6 contender.
Yeah, and Cloud9, at least so far, is not necessarily revealed as like a good, like a great search team or a good search team. So definitely need to see them at least beat someone like Rocker,
right?
In that regard. So the next match we have, which is I didn't even know this. I didn't even see the outcome of this match. Wow. Yeah. Boston 3-1 Carolina Royal Ravens, giving them their first loss on the season. Boston still showing that they are looking good. Holy hell. Oh, yeah, you texted me about this. The Purge series.
Yes,
Purge, 113 kills and a 1.27 with 12k damage. Snoopy with almost 13k damage. Excuse me. And on the other side of things, you had a tough series from Slasher. But whenever you have SMGs like that going crazy and you're like the slower AR on the team, you're going to see that. Yeah. But wow, Boston Breach 3-1, smoking them. in the map 4 to wrap it up. 250 to 109 on the vault hardpoint. Wow.
Yeah, Boston's looking really good, especially in respawn. Purge, 45 kills map 4. 37 untraded kills, I'm pretty sure, was the
That's
stat
insane.
that I sent you. Yeah, so
Yeah,
he was
45 and 20.
absolutely having that map. And yeah, 45 and 20 plus
Shout out
25
Purge,
looks
man.
crazy on the scoreboard. So yeah, shout out Purge. We've always liked Purge here because he knows how to. What was that? You don't fuck with Purge? I've always fucked with Purge.
I shit on him all last year.
Yeah, I mean, he was shitting.
He was dog shit.
But I think we've known that he
As a
always
dude.
knows how to play, like, for the win, play correct COD.
Sure.
And I've always liked that about him. So now that he's figuring shit out, like, this is cool. It's cool to see. The comeback is insane because he was getting dragged last year on Twitter. So shout out Purge.
Shout out Purge.
Boston,
looking to see some success
3-1.
continue.
These teams are on the same tier to me. Like, these are very...
Yeah.
They could come out and get top 4 for sure type of...
With Toronto as well.
Teams, yeah.
Getting into the Sunday matches, we had LAG going up against Toronto Ultra. LAG went back to the form we were used to seeing, even though Priesta and Linz had a good series.
There was a Skyline. I think Priest is a demon on
Skyline Merchant.
I'm not going to say a merchant.
31 and 27.
He's a demon on that map because I feel like
that was
every
a close
time he
map,
does good,
too.
He's dropping a 30 bomb on that map.
Yeah. It was a close map, too. That was the only close map. The hardpoint was pretty convincing for Ultra, 6-1 in the S&D, and then they lose the LAG wins the control 3-1, so that's good to see. But Toronto, just the better team, and they remain undefeated. They're 6-0 going into the last weekend.
Yeah, and their S&D is looking really good right now, so they're going to be ready Major 1. I feel like they're going to be definitely playing for Sunday.
Yeah, Beans and Joe with that level of confidence. We know what we're going to get from Kleenex and Insight. They've been in that camp for a while. Slotting in players like Beans and Joe into an already established camp is definitely sparked them for sure. And with their confidence at an all-time high, we know how vocal they are. That's dangerous to see if you match up against them on a Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
The next match was absolutely the match of the weekend. Everyone saw it on Twitter. Optic 3-2 LA Thieves. They smoke them in the map 1. Scrap drops 6 kills. He goes 6-19 with 774 damage.
How does that even happen, bro?
I watched him watch it back, and he really gotten probably 6 or 7 gunfights.
Really?
Yeah, and so that was an absolute smoking. They take the red card search convincingly. They take the Hacienda control convincingly. They took that offense and ran with it. And then Optic keeps themselves in the series in the map 4 Skyline. This was Envoy was the only one positive. They were down going into the second to last hill, and they pretty much full 60'd a hill to go up, and then just kept their lead from there. And then we go into the map 5 Hacienda. Optic goes down 5-1. They scrape together 4 rounds in a row. Kenny's left in a 1v2 round 11, and he fucking wins it. I stood up in my chair. I was going crazy. The Scump watch party was all up out of their chairs going crazy. Did you know that Thieves is playing from the Hex quarters?
Are they?
Yes, they're
Really?
down the hall. They're down the hall from the watch party.
Way.
Yes, because they're like, I thought I heard Thieves cheering in the middle of the round, but it was actually us. And then Maniac was like on the podcast was like, every time I walk past Dylan in the hallways, he's taller every time. So Thieves are right there next to Optic for this match.
That's insane. So they
yeah, so that's interesting.
So they had to walk outside and we're face to face. Oh man, that's awkward.
But yeah, it was one of the definitely the craziest series we've seen so far in the online qualifiers. An absolute banger of a map 5. Shout out to Optic for keeping locked in and stringing those rounds along, and then Kenny just absolutely icing up in the map 5 to secure it.
Honestly, that round 11, these tried to juke them or just could not make a damn decision on where they wanted to go with bomb like 4 times, bro.
Yeah, and I didn't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Like it's a mid-round adjustment. Let's rotate. let's fake the rotate and go back. Kenny and Optic just make a great play. They realize the space they were given. They push up mid map to cut off their rotation. Dashy and Hook are top middle steps by the garage where they would rotate to the lobby. Unfortunately, Dashy gets one and then dies, and then Hook gets pieced. So it goes from a 3v3 to that 1v2. And what was so good about it earlier in the round, before they had committed back to lobby, they went back into garage. Kenny had spotted them rotating, so they come back, and Kenny plays the open hallway and has that line of sight into B where he can see them cross to bomb from Rock. He gets that information, and then they play it, realize they rotated back, and that's when that sequence happens that I just explained. So overall, it was just a good mid-game adjustment from Optic. I think the last rotate back was kind of a troll. I think if anything, Hydra and Envoy should have either pushed mid to mid cut and planted A, because they had time to pick either bomb site. Even though in the post game interview, Kenny was like, I knew they had to go B. I was like, they did not have to go B. Like, it's the same distance from top mid to go to B or A. Like, they could have gone either way. But Kenny plays disciplined, almost gets bad timing, and then guns both of them. So that was a crazy series.
Wild.
Last match of the weekend, we had Minnesota Rocker going up against Atlanta FaZe. FaZe had been looking pretty rocky up to this point, with their only win over the Falcons, I think. Am I wrong on that?
Nope.
Yeah, their only win over Falcons at this point, so we had some question marks going into this, and that only happened because of that 1v4, or was that the minor? That was the minor, never mind. Yeah. So FaZe ended up taking this 3-1, and they look really dominant. Keep in mind, this is coming off of a minor win. So even though they only had one win in the qualifiers, they did just win the minor tournament, looking really, really good. So surprisingly, Rocker come out map 1 frying and take it. Estriel went 34-21. This was the 2v4 I was thinking about when I mentioned it in Rocker's earlier series. They literally 2v4'd. 34-21 from Estriel, 30-23 from Nero, and Geo and Paulex had a combined 27.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. But look at Paulex.
2v4
he's in the hill.
Yeah, he's in the hill. Hill kitten, meow meow,
Good
meow
man.
meow.
Meow meow.
So yeah, and then they proceed to get skull fucked the rest of the series. 6-3 in the red card search, 3-0 in control, and then a 100-point game in the red card hard point. I think red card is probably FaZe's best map. Especially I've been watching scrims this week since pros are finally streaming Optic is streaming scrims.
Hey,
so
that's good though. I was watching some today. They were playing FaZe.
That's why I said that. It was a close map for some reason on that red card, but they got outslayed by like 20, and it was only like a 40-point game somehow, which is good to see from Optic. That's a good rep. Yeah. So going into the last weekend, FaZe are 2-3. They're probably going to win. They're going to have 2 matches. They're probably going to win 1 or 2 of those and probably have a middle seed, probably a 4 or 5 seed, maybe 3 going into this. And Rocker sitting at 2-4, so they got some work to do as well. Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming matches here, because we've got some heavy implications. So first match we have is Carolina Royal Ravens going up against Vancouver. I'm going to take Carolina in that. I think they take it 3-1. Not too much implications riding on this one because Carolina has 2 matches this weekend, so they got to win both to be in a top 3 seed. Because we'll get to it here later. Optic and Toronto, who are Optic's 5-1 and Toronto's 6-0. Whoever wins that match is going to get the tiebreaker in the first seed, most likely. So Miami versus Thieves. I'm going to go ahead and say 3-0 on this one. I just think that the talent. I think maybe Heretic's going to have a hot start and take that map 1 hard point again. But I just don't see that happening.
I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely think Thieves, but I don't think 3-0. The way I'm
going to say 3-0.
Been playing. All right. Let's bounce back.
Then we got Breach and FaZe. This is going to be a banger. Both of them have 2 matches to play this weekend. I think FaZe are just hot right now. Like, I can see FaZe 3-0ing them, but I'm going to go FaZe 3-1. I don't think it goes game 5.
3-2. I'm gonna say 3-2. Yeah, give me 5.
That's fair. It's fair.
Per J.
And then we got Vancouver Surge going up against Minnesota Rocker. I think this is going to be a really good series. I'm actually going to take Rocker 3-2. I think they take both searches.
Yeah, I'm with that.
All right. Then we got we got Falcons Gorillas. Come on, Falcons. This is it.
No way.
This is where you get your first win.
3-1.
3-2 Falcons.
I got a 3-1 LAG.
If they ban Skyline, they're gonna take a hard point and they're gonna take both searches. I'm calling it now.
No. These are world champions.
If Skyline, our world champions are 1-5. If Skyline is banned,
2-5 in 30 minutes.
All right, fine. We'll look back on this, and one of us is gonna be looking at the other.
No, I'm saying 3-0. They're gonna fuck them up.
That's what I'm saying. One of us is gonna look back at this. Then we got Miami, Carolina. This one might be good too. I'm gonna take Carolina. I truly don't know the map count. I'll just say 3-2. I'm gonna take Carolina though.
I'll say 3-1 Carolina. Take it in 4.
Okay. Then we got Boston Breach versus LA Thieves. This is gonna be another banger. Tough last 2 matches for Boston, FaZe and Thieves. I'm gonna go Thieves 3-2.
Damn, Breach have a tough weekend going into the major. That's honestly a good thing though. That'll be some good reps. Thieves 3-1.
Okay. And then we got FaZe Cloud9 to wrap it up. That's FaZe 3-0 in my book.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Optic and Toronto are going to round us out to see who is going to get the 1 seed going into Major 1.
Man, they really know how to schedule them, huh?
I was listening to the Optic podcast. Have you listened to the Optic podcast yet from today?
No.
So listen to Optic's Major 2 qualifier schedule.
Is it insane?
Okay. Yes. They have Miami, and actually, let me just pull it up. Actually, matches live upcoming. Okay. So they got. So the ones that should be okay. They got Rocker, Heretics, and Gentlemates.
Okay.
And then they play the other top 4.
Damn.
They play FaZe,
Ravens,
Thieves,
Boston.
Ravens, Ultra. No Boston.
Okay.
No Boston, which
That's
is fine.
good. Yeah, Boston's kind of our boogeyman.
Yeah, so that's tough, bro. Like that's hopefully 3 wins, and then the other 4 you gotta play.
Yeah.
You gotta come and play your best game against those 4 teams.
Optic will take 2 for sure. You would think.
Yeah, sure. That's crazy. I'm looking at
worst case scenario.
If you click on Optic Texas, Kenny and Dashy have their fucking cars behind them on their pictures.
I saw the Dashy one. I didn't know Kenny had it too. That's
Kenny
funny.
has his GTR and Dashy has the Batmobile Porsche behind him.
That's hilarious. Okay, so
that's funny.
So Hook has been frying, but everyone calls him an onliner. Do you think he can put it together at Major 1?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think obviously in MW2 he was with the team for a little bit and played on LAN with them in a really weird game that doesn't suit a play style like Hook, where you're getting sound hoard and that's not good for his play style. Who likes
the
to
movement is dog.
Yeah, and the movement's terrible. So I don't know. I think that goes back to his denial days in AW, getting called an onliner, and you know he's still here. So dude's won championships on LAN in Call of Duty and Halo. So I'm not too worried about it. I just think he needs to back himself up. But he's been playing good. He's got the second highest KD on the team right now. So
yeah,
definitely. I'm just looking at Kenny, who we know elevates on LAN. So
hey, he was frying in scrims today. I saw.
Yeah, he was doing pretty well. But that was a look at our matches and a look ahead at this weekend coming up of matches as well. So make sure to stay tuned for next week as we look ahead to the Major 2 predictions, or I'm sorry, Major 1 predictions and how that tournament's gonna play out with, you know, how this weekend goes and where the teams get seeded, who makes winners, who makes losers, and we'll make our predictions next week. But now it is time to take a look at the RLCS NA Open that took place last week. Dak, Rip it off.
Yes, sir. Let me
You share your screen.
share my screen with you.
'Cause I got high again. Forgot to fold my clothes.
Did I stream that?
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of like what happened in the tournament. We're not going to go super match by match because I didn't watch every single match. There was a lot going on at the same time, I think. But yeah, and then we'll just kind of tell you what to expect as far as where these teams rank in North America and in the grand scheme of things. So first off, we didn't see Swiss. We just started here. So
Yep.
obviously Gen G had to play NRG, Gen G's Reddles and the boys versus Beast Mode Daniel and Atomic. So we knew going into this that's just tough for Gen G. And Gen G was hopeful that they would get top 4 at this regional. They just, obviously they won a map, but it was never close. I mean, they couldn't keep up. NRG's speed, and now that they've been together a whole season, like they're just picking up where they left off. They looked incredible. So they take it 3-1. That was pretty easy. Space Station, the young guys, Scribbles, Frosty, and I forget their third. Oh, yeah, Reveal. They had a hell of a tournament, and they ended up beating NRG 3-1 in the upper bracket here. So that was crazy. They went on to play Deleted, and Deleted is Andy, Gyro, and Wavy. Pirates on a boat, basically, from last year. I'm pretty sure at one point, at least Andy and Gyro were, maybe. But they're pretty good. They fall to Space Station 3-2, but they still qual. If you make it that far, you qual for the top 8 playoffs. So Space Station and Deleted make it out of Group A. In Group B, or at least in the upper bracket, I'll start at the lower bracket. Gen G 3-0'd Strictly Business, and then 3-2 versus Omelette is a great win for Gen G.
Yeah.
Omelette is definitely a team that could upset any of these teams. What the fuck? Get off my screen. So Omelette is a good team, and they take it 3-2. It was a pretty crazy series, but they shit on them last map 6-1. So shout out Gen G. They went on to play NRG again. That's tough. So they lose that 3-1
again.
I think they just give them a gentleman's game. You know, they're all boys. So 3-1 again, but they ended up qualifying for playoffs. So good start, I guess. I mean, they only lost to NRG.
Sure. It's good for for the long term.
Yeah.
To get these top 8s.
Yeah, for sure. Group B, the Ultimates is another team that's going to be the top of North America. It's Chronic, First Killer, and LJ. So they're really good. 3-1, 3-1. They lose to Complexity 3-1 in the final here. So Complexity is CRR
Raise
and
Bull.
Bull. They're really good. You know, they got top 4 at Worlds 2 years ago. So these dudes are not to be slept on. And they ended up taking this bracket. But they both qual. 9 lives. It's hilarious that their name is 9 lives because it seemed like they
We're never out.
would not go away all weekend. So 9 lives is Chicago, Hoxer, and Kofer. Really good team. Really scrappy team. It's crazy that they're not signed by a real org because they got top 4.
Yeah, it is.
So they ended up falling to Complexity 3-1. They folded lower bracket. They beat Justin, Parth, and 2-Piece on Shopify and went on to play Team Evo. Team Evo, pretty scrappy team. They're pretty good. I honestly overlooked them. It's Speed, Relating Wave, and Arju. They're all Europeans, so obviously they've played at a higher ceiling, and that's probably why, you know, they did so well at this tournament. But yeah,
Makes
9
sense.
lives. They go on to win out in losers, and they both qual Evo and 9 lives. So moving on to the playoffs, Space Station, upper bracket here. Space Station beat the Ultimates 4-3, crazy 7-game series, crazy win for the Young Guns to beat First Killer, Chronic, and LJ. That was insane. So right then and there, I'm a believer now. The Young Guns are insane. They got to be like 15 to 17 now years old.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. Complexity 4-1's Deleted. So Complexity, they were stomping for a little bit there.
Yeah.
NRG 4-1 to Evo. That was to be expected. Gen G, man. Gen
Yeah,
G.
it's tough.
So let's talk about this. Gen G was up 3-1 in this series, looking good. Their kickoffs were looking incredible. They had a ton of kickoff goals, and they just started falling apart, dude. 9 Lives just started cooking, and they couldn't slow them down. Gets to game 7. Gen G misses 2 open nets. Dude.
I saw that.
2 open nets. And I'm talking
tough.
Wide open. The play is made. The bump is made. The pass is made. Nets right there for the taking. And they hit the crossbar or hit the post, whatever. It's just tragic, dude.
It was very tragic.
It just had to be, like, nerves at that point. I mean, you're in
Something.
game 7, dude. Like, you can't believe you're in game 7. You were up 3-1 shitting on them. Like, oh, man. So that was just tragic.
That's tough.
That was tragic. And Gen G fall top 8. I believe they get 2 or 3 points.
Okay.
So at least they got something.
Sure.
But 9 Lives, they move on. And they went on to have another 7-game series versus Deleted, where
Take it.
It was just back and forth, but they were down 3-2. And then they end up winning 2 in a row. So 9 Lives. They actually have 9 lives. You can't kill them. You
Can't get rid of them.
So they move on. Ultimates and NRG was a crazy series, but NRG just took the best of them. Move on to 4-0 Shit Pump Complexity.
Damn.
So Complexity, I mean, they had a great tournament. They got top 4, but they're not on this level. NRG they were hot, and they ended up going to the grand finals. Space Station 4-1's 9 lives, so they asserted their dominance too. I think this tournament proves Space Station is going to be hanging with the best of them. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with the Ultimates, toe-to-toe with NRG, took them to 7 games. Like, they beat 9 lives 4-1. They're just scrappy, dude. They're
nice.
A good team. So,
yep.
Yeah. NRG end up taking grand finals, winning the regional as everyone expected, but Space Station put up a fight. 7-game series.
Yeah.
And they were up 3-1.
Damn, no goals for them, though, in the last 2.
Yeah, NRG just called that timeout after they won 5-1. Or I guess Space Station called that.
Yeah.
NRG called the timeout after they were down 3-1. That's usually timeouts.
So they got the timeout cheese, and then SSU was like, let's reverse timeout cheese, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
You can't reverse the timeout cheese.
Yeah, they're just not. I mean, these dudes are vets. You can't timeout cheese them.
NRG just continuing their dominance and their talent under a different banner.
So I think the top 4. I don't know. I need to see Complexity do it again. I still don't trust them, but
yeah,
I can for sure say Space Station, Ultimates, and NRG are solid top 3. For now. 9 lives. I think they're always going to be like this, just scrappy. Could make a Sunday. Deleted. They had a really good tournament, so keep a lookout for them. I find it hard to see Reddles and them making a major in this.
Yeah, I do too.
They could, but it's gonna take like consistency.
Everything.
It's gonna take consistency, is what it's gonna take, and
it's gonna take their best consistently, which is just hard to do.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. I mean, they when they're on, they look great. So, we'll see. But yeah, NA Rocket League, man, we're looking good.
When's the next thing?
Probably in a few weeks. Open to January 31st. So next week.
Next weekend. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Next Friday.
Sweet.
All right. And to wrap up episode 51, our coin segment, Picking Bands, where me and Dak pick and ban something from recency and touch on it. I'll go ahead and start us off. My pick is Lola Young, a.k.a. the artist for the viral song going around right now, Messy. It's been stuck in my head for 3 days, and I actually think the song is so fucking good.
How's it go?
I love it. Because I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean. You told me get a job, and then ask where the hell I've been.
Yeah.
It's fire. But yeah, that's been stuck in my head for 2 days straight, and it probably will be for another 2 days straight. But I love that song, and it deserves all the love it's been getting.
It is catchy. It was stuck in my head yesterday. Not as hard as you, because you kept singing.
No, yeah, I can't stop singing it.
Nice. Okay, so my pick is Ninja Gaiden 2 Remastered. Have you ever heard of that game?
No.
Okay, it was a game on 360, and it was called Ninja Gaiden 2. You're just a ninja with a sword, and it's just like a hack and slash campaign with bosses, kind of Elden Ring-ish.
Okay.
It was hard, too. It was a very hard game. The bosses took multiple tries, and I beat it. I loved it. It was just like a random 360 game back in the day to me. Obviously, it's bigger than I thought. There's a big fan base for it. And today, Xbox announced Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out, and they remastered Ninja Gaiden 2 and are dropping it today, and it's on Steam right now.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, $50 though. That is
Ooh.
could be a ban. Because I had this
What the
conversation. I had this conversation earlier with Asa, and I was like, dude, if you remaster a game that everyone's already played,
It's like Red Dead.
and the only change to the game is that you've enhanced the graphics, there should be a law that you can only charge $40 or less for those type of games.
I think 20.
Yeah, no, me too, but they're charging 50 and 60 for them, so we'll start at 40. All right.
Sure.
And if it's a game that was out in like the last 5 to 10 years, it should be 30 or less.
Yeah.
But like Ninja
I agree.
Gaiden 2 came out in 2008. That game needed a graphic enhancement. So it's dope. Like it's on Unreal Engine 5. It's probably a whole new game. It probably feels insane.
Okay.
But games like, I don't know.
Red Dead?
Yeah.
Wasn't that $50?
Yeah, like Red Dead 1 got remastered and it's $50. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like it probably doesn't even look that different.
Might have to try it out. We'll see.
Yeah. But anyways.
My ban is Apex Legends. And more specifically their player count. So up until up until the summer of this past year, 2024, they've been hovering anywhere between like 120 to 200,000 monthly players. And as of this last fall, like starting in October, it's gone from 85,000 to 90,000 in November, December 74,000, and 71,000 in the last 30 days.
Damn.
So people are leaving Apex pretty much is what it is.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because I think it's becoming a little bit stale in terms of like the meta right now is just like support characters are so overpowered right now. A cell, like if you pop, you get double healing. So like a syringe is almost a med kit, and then a cell gives you 2 things instead of just 1. So they're like just really good right now, and I don't know exactly what it is. I also just think it's running its course.
Yeah.
It's not so much. It's not so much of this cool and new thing, and there's not enough movement mechanics anymore that are like thrilling and viral clips being made. It's just I think it's just aging out. And a lot of the changes that they make to the game are more geared towards competitive. So they're, when that happens, you get the very good retention of those ranked players and those competitive players. But in most games, that's your, the minority of your player base. So
Yeah.
So that's what I think. But I still think the game's super fun. Gonna play it later tonight with Rudd, probably. But yeah, it's mechanically at its core, it's so good. Like the gunplay, the movement, everything about it is so good. But it's all the nuances of it that really bring it down. But,
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. Hopefully it can bounce back.
We'll see.
My ban. Look, I'm just a hater on this topic. I'm sorry. I just don't have hope. But Assassin's Creed Shadows. I saw that they released a new story trailer for it. I don't think that game's going to be very good, bro. Like, I know I feel like I know what to expect and how that game is going to make me feel if I were to play it.
Yeah.
And it'd just be all right.
Yeah, you can already see the ceiling.
Yeah. And it's like combat is just like Ghost of Tsushima light, and the Ubisoft slop character models, like it looks like their mouths and facial movements look like something out of a 2010 game.
Yeah, like Puppeteer
Yeah,
looking.
like their mouth is just like it doesn't look like they're saying what they're actually saying. Like their mouth is just opening and closing. So I don't know, man. I just have no hope for this game. I think it's just a
Yeah,
it's just a slop.
Ubisoft is on a
Yeah.
generational run
They
right
really
now,
are.
so
They really, and that's
it's-
another thing that factors into it. Like, how is this game going to be any better than what they've released? Their past 6 titles have been dog shit.
Right.
So, you know, but
Yeah.
just a random tidbit of Ubisoft. They had a W today with their anti-cheat system in Rainbow Six.
Oh, I saw that. I saw
They
that.
can like detect it and it ends the game and kicks the cheater out and bans them. So that's
No
that's a
elo
W.
lost.
Yeah, that's a
That
W.
is a W. But yeah, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 51. We'll be back next week with episode 52, covering these next matches in the CDL and taking a look forward to Major 1 and taking a look at the bracket and any other gaming news that comes in the pipeline. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.